Welcome to another episode in the cool webinar that we have here in Warmy. Today with us is Steven from Mailvio, the CEO. We worked together for a long time and very happy about it. And we learn more about you, about the company. And I'm really excited because I know you are a very interesting person and building a very interesting company. So Steven, welcome to our webinar.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you so much for taking the time and to do this with me. And we've been working with you, like you said, for quite a while already. And awesome cooperation so far. I'm definitely looking forward to see that going into the future.
Amazing. So thank you so much. Steven, you are the CEO of Mailvio. Tell us a bit about yourself, something also if you can add some pepper, something unusual.
Something unusual. Oh, okay. I don't know. I've started quite early. So I started being a digital entrepreneur at 14 years old. I started out hacking phones, to be honest. Hacking Samsung phones mostly. And I ran unlocking servers for almost 10 years before I moved on to more SaaS kind of models. And I've been doing that ever since. I'm a tech guy mostly. So I started out more being a CTO, kind of grew into the CEO role at Mailvio, which I completely took charge of beginning January of 2024.
I'm happy that I have an iPhone, not a Samsung. So, so you will not hack me. Okay, great. Very interesting. Okay, I'm Daniel, the CEO of Warmy.io. I fell in love with emails, I think around 10 years ago. Since then, everything related to email very exciting me. The email world is very unique because you don't know what will happen tomorrow. You don't know what works, what not, and this is really what makes me happy, and this is what I do. Okay, what is Mailvio overall? Tell us about what you are doing, what you are building, what you are seeing the future of this company, of this tool. Tell us a bit in a deeper way what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. I think the easiest way to kind of explain Mailvio is by a small comparison. So there's other companies. I mean, ESP kind of field is quite filled with other companies like ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, or whatever. All of them have different focuses. Like you have Beehive for newsletters, you have Kit for creative stuff, you have ActiveCampaign for automations. And there's one thing that all of them kind of on purpose ignore, and that is deliverability for your main money emails. And that's who we are. We focus on delivering the most difficult to deliver emails, which are the promotional emails, the ones that actually make you money. All the others, they purposely ignore those, or sometimes even ban those, or like shun those away into like bad IP pools, etc., because they are so hard. But we basically took it upon ourselves to take that challenge, take those most difficult to deliver emails, and help our customers to get those into the mostly primary email boxes. And there's a lot of ways we do that, but every upgrade, every improvement, every feature that we create is with the sole focus on improving email deliverability. So that's really the most important part. We are very hands-on. We don't want to be another MailerLite. We don't want to be another MailChimp where we have 50,000 customers. That's not our goal for the company. I would rather have a company with about 1,000 or maybe even 2,000, but that was already stretching it, customers, where each customer pays us like $500,000 up to $2,000 per month, and where those customers get at least a 5x, but preferably a 10x result on ROI on their email marketing. So we're super hands-on. We proactively go into their accounts and then do analysis of like, okay, what they're doing wrong and what they're doing right, mostly in terms of email deliverability, not so much in their email strategy, but it touches upon the other quite a bit, and that's really what we focus on. So yeah, we're super hands-on, and we care about the results of your email deliverability. Like we have flags in our system. If not, if you're abusing the system, sure, we have those systems as well, but we have flags that tell us like, hey, this account, their deliverability is not so great. And then we go in and like we check and we contact that person. It's like, hey, we found out this and this and that. You're doing that right, but you're not doing that so good. So we strongly recommend you to change this and this and this. So that's really where we play as an ESP.
Very interesting, very unique. If you tell us what is the typical customer looks like, what he's sending, what do you mean by if promotional emails? Can you a bit explain here, like what does it mean promotional emails? Who send it, and who is the customer that and also there is a process that you accept customers, or someone can go sign up, or you need to accept how it works because you are hands-on. You want to pick maybe the companies that you work with.
Yeah, definitely. We do have a normal pricing page where people can sign up as normal, but there is always an onboarding phase, which is quite again hands-on. So in that kind of process, we kind of qualify our customers, and if they're bigger, they actually have to get on a call with us, and we actually qualify them as well. And qualifying is kind of like, it sounds as if we test that person if that's a good match, but it's just like we set realistic expectations, and then we kind of just feel if that's a match or not, because there's too many people still that have complete wrong expectations about email marketing in general. Like email marketing, as you perfectly well know, Daniel, since 2024 everything changed, right? Like where the normal spam filters, which are just fairly simple algorithms, completely changed to AI powered systems, right? And everything changed at that moment, and there's still people that think like, oh no, I can just blast my whole list of like 50,000 people and I expect results from that. And that's just one of the biggest mistakes we see. Like I have a customer that we do the email marketing for, so like we 100% do it for them under our agency product. And if I email their whole list, which is about 7,000 people in this case, I get about 50 to 60 clicks per campaign. Not bad, decent CTRs. Yeah. However, if I choose to only email the people that have engaged in the last 20 days, which are about 1,800 people, I get triple the clicks instead of emailing everybody. Like, and you have to think like that group of everybody includes those people, right? So you would assume that the clicks you get if you email everybody would be higher, but that's just not the case. That's not how deliverability works anymore. So if you actually cut the amount of people you're emailing by, this is almost 2/3, you get triple the number of clicks as a result, and there's also the sales that kind of follow that. So that's just a thing, that's a mindset thing that a lot of people just still don't really understand in email marketing. And on top of that, like there's still too many companies that we often end up rejecting, where like they literally think like, oh, email marketing, that's that thing that you do once a week for an hour and that's it, right? And it just doesn't work anymore like that. Unfortunately, that would be very nice. But like email marketing is a very serious channel, and it needs time and resources and investment to make that work. And if a company is not willing to make that investment and free those resources for it, then they're never going to have the results that they're looking for.
You didn't answer the question of what is the typical customer looks like and what he's sending, what normally is, what is promotional emails, like e-commerce, what does it mean, and what are the
So that's a great question as well. We have customers from different spaces, like from travel, from social media, just normal marketing, but the majority are digital product vendors, so people who sell digital products, specifically from marketplaces like ClickBank, JVZoo, Explodely, Digital Store 24, kind of those products, and also affiliates. So one thing that we do is we basically welcome everybody, including the niches that are often shunned or just completely banned by our competitors, like CBD, crypto, gambling, iGaming, to say it as nicely. We don't care as long as it's legal what you're emailing about, for the very simple reason that Google also doesn't care at all. Like the notion that Google hates gambling or whatever, it's false. It's just not true. What Google cares about is engagement. What Microsoft cares about is engagement. What Yahoo cares about is engagement. They all care about one thing, that's engagement. If your engagement is good, then you're welcome at Mailvio. If it's not good, we will give you help. And we will tell you what to do. If you ignore those instructions, then we will ask people to leave.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
But mostly affiliates and digital product vendors is where our audience sit at the moment. And a lot of them see amazing results if they follow our instructions.
Amazing. And one last question: you gave them dedicated IPs, or it sits on your shared IPs, all of them? How it works? I think it's a following question for every maybe customer is asking you.
Yeah, for sure. Like especially the more professional and engaged customers are definitely going to ask that question. So we have both. We do have dedicated IPs. However, we almost never recommend it, to be honest. So we work in pools. So basically every ESP out there, they work in IP pools. And based on whatever the platform we do this to, that you get like basically an account score, right? Like kind of like a sender score, but then internally. And we do that too. The difference is though at Mailvio, everybody gets to see that. I don't think there's any competitor out there that actually shares that with their customers. So you never know in what pool you are, right? Like you only see it if suddenly your email stats, your open rates, CTRs, reply rates, etc., suddenly drop, and then everything else is the same. It's like, oh, what the heck happened? Oh, maybe you got moved to a bad IP pool in that particular ESP. With us, it's actually shown on your dashboard right away. So full transparency. This is your score. At any moment, you can check that, and that means you're in this pool, that pool, or that pool. And then we, like I said in the beginning, we have automatic kind of systems. If you drop from a higher pool to a lower pool, or if you go up, we actually send emails to all of our customers like, hey, congratulations, you went up a pool. Nice. Or hey, something went wrong, you went down a pool. Do you want help? Get in touch with us, and then we'll have a look at your account, and we'll tell you exactly what to do to get back up in the better pools. And for most customers, even our biggest customers, they are still on the shared IP pools because it just generally works better. You need to have serious volume and also like a dedicated team that really, really takes care about your reputation to go dedicated. It's not worth it for most companies, basically.
Amazing. Okay, how did you get into the email world, Steven? Normally. It's a common sense. Maybe it's boring. I don't know. Email is already a bit old, maybe, and I don't know. Tell us a bit about your love with emails. Why you are doing it, and yeah.
Yeah, I got forced into it at gunpoint base. No, I'm kidding. But
after Samsung hacking,
yeah,
somehow.
Yeah, somebody put a gun to my head, like you gotta go into the email world now. So the way how I got into it is because we had a older platform that was called Mailvio, that was supposed to be a ClickFunnels killer, one of our earlier entrepreneur kind of journey steps, and it was a great platform, and it had email as a module in there as well. The product was great, but yeah, we couldn't win in terms of marketing from Russell Brunson because he is really good at marketing. And at some point, we had to make a decision to kill Mailvio, but we had a lot of people that were actually very active in the Mailvio module, in the email module. So we decided to split that off as a separate company. My business partner at the time, he was running that for a while, but he wasn't really into email marketing as much, into the technical parts of deliverability, etc., etc. So I only had like a sideways interactivity with the product of Mailvio itself, and then at some point we kind of got to a milestone. It's like, yeah, we have quite a few people here. We have decent MRR for the business, but the quality wasn't on par with my minimum level, so to say. So we kind of had to make a decision again: are we going to kill Mailvio, or are we going to take it seriously? And I will step in and really start building it out with prime quality, that's the way I want it. So that's basically what I did in 2024 January, and then I just started rebuilding everything from scratch: the infrastructure, the software. I invented the three-wave sending, all of that, and then that's basically what got us over here. And yeah, I mean, like, I'm a technical guy, so I like any technical challenge. And the fun part here is it's a combination of technical, because there's a lot of technical stuff that goes into emailing and getting them delivered. But there's also a combination with the copy and the marketing itself, like the combination of email with SMS or WhatsApp messages or webinars or whatever. So that's really interesting that it kind of combines a lot of things there. So yeah, I mean, I think in years I'm still kind of you could argue I'm almost still a newcomer to the email scene, but I've had development and setup and DevOps experience for over 20 years. So in that sense, not quite so new.
Amazing. And how do you feel about that? It's always changing. You can wake up one morning and something changed.
I love that.
You love that?
Yeah. I mean,
Amazing.
like it keeps it alive, right? Like I think the chances would be that email actually does go dead, as a lot of people have proclaimed in the past. Email is dead. I'm sure you've seen that a million times.
No.
But it's not. It absolutely isn't. And I think this whole dynamic kind of it can change next month. It can change next week. It's kind of interesting because each time somebody says, "Oh yeah, it stopped working. Email is dead," in reality, it means, "Hey, new opportunity." And that's, I think, a general mindset of entrepreneurs. Like anytime people proclaim anything is dead, Facebook ads are dead, or whatever is dead, it just means massive opportunity to go in and actually make more money.
I very agree with you. And for some reason, our Google Workspace account just growing the monthly bill. So I don't know if it's dead. Okay, so I'm not sure it's dead yet.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, okay, let's continue. And where do you see, or what predicts really success in 2026? And overall, I would say, where you see the future, or what do you think is the future? When you think with yourself, I don't know, you're drinking coffee in the end of the week or somewhere, and you think, okay, where I want to be or where I think the email will be, so you will be there as a business, as a tech guy, where you think it's gonna be, so you'll be always there. You don't want to be, I guess, to be led, but you want to lead some technology, some innovation. Where do you think it's gonna be there?
So I think, and this is extremely important for Warmup as well, email is going to be another social media. So a lot of people don't realize this, but Gmail is already there. Like Gmail is always a little bit ahead of the rest. Like Gmail is the front runner. Outlook generally comes behind, and then you have like the dinosaurs like Yahoo and Comcast and all this, right? But what happens already in the Gmail inbox, like the one online, obviously, to some extent on the mobile phone as well, is that the emails that you see are not ordered in the order in which they came in anymore. They are ordered based on what the AI thinks is most relevant to whoever is watching. A lot of people don't know this is already the case. I don't think it's for everybody yet, but this is being rolled out as we speak.
For me, yes, but I didn't thought like this. I didn't think about it that way.
It's basically another TikTok wall, Facebook wall, Instagram wall, where they just put there is an algorithm that runs on the back, and it just presents you what it thinks. Like, so it's going to be about placement, and what defines that placement, that your email actually gets the eyeballs it deserves, to put out some marketing speak there. Engagement, nothing more, nothing less.
Nice. Wow,
so
you gave me some good point to think.
I think that's where we're going to, where email just becomes more and more of a social media wall kind of system. And you can already see it in Gmail. I'm pretty sure Outlook's going to follow, and then maybe at some point in 10 years, Yahoo as well.
Amazing. Very interesting. Thank you for sharing this. And why did you start? You already shared. Why did you start Mailvio? And this is also really, really exciting. What are the biggest mistakes Mailvio users are doing? I can guess. I think if you work with affiliates or newcomers to the email world, what do you think, that you always repeating and tell them, hey guys, you're doing wrong? What is that?
Blasting their whole lists over and over and over and over and over.
The same list, same email?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a lack of segmenting, basically. So if you email your people, all of them, all the time, including the people who are not engaging, you're literally shooting yourself in the foot, which is basically the example I gave earlier, right? Like where the small list, the 20-day engaged, was giving much more clicks than when emailing everybody. If you do this too much, you get into a negative, a downward spiral in terms of your domain reputation. And your domain reputation is what matters the most. Like Gmail is like 90% domain reputation and maybe 10% IP reputation. Outlook is maybe 60-40 or 50-50, if I had to guess. And then, the dinosaurs, Yahoo, etc., they care a lot more about IP reputation still. So IP reputation still matters, but for Gmail specifically, it doesn't even, like I've seen people have amazing deliverability on bad IPs, like where the score of the IP reputation inside of Google Postmaster is actually bad, and still have great reputation, great deliverability. Sorry, that's because they care mostly about the domain. What we see in Mailvio, this is Mailvio specific, so the numbers are different on other platforms. But if your campaigns or your automations, doesn't really matter that much, but automations are generally have better numbers than campaigns do. But if they are under about 20% open rates, about 0.67% CTRs, and basically 0 on reply rates, then you're in a negative spiral. Like the farther below that you are, the harder you're burning your domain. The harder are you're basically screwing up your email deliverability. If you are like at 18-19% open rates in general, I'm going to focus a little bit on open rates here, which is not a very reliable metric. I know this, but it make it a little bit simple to explain. Then you're fine. Like you're basically slow decline, and this can take for months. If your open rates are 10 to 13, 14, 15%, then you're burning it quite fast, and we're talking about weeks. Where you're going to see very negative results. If you are under 5%, we're talking about days. Like you can literally burn a whole domain in days if your open rates are less than 5%. The other way around, if you are like 25%, that means you're slowly building up your reputation. If you are 30-35%, which a lot of our customers are at, you're building up quite strongly, and then you can slowly go to like 45%, 55, 60, even 70% open rates, which is quite amazing. Yes, I know people are going to say like, open rates, they're like so unreliable. Right. True, they are unreliable, but what really matters, I still see so many gurus, like on LinkedIn, I had a discussion a while ago where some guy, open rates are dead, that thing again. Open rates are completely useless. No, they're not useless. They're actually very, very valuable, just not at face value. So if you see in a platform, my open rates are 20%, don't believe that 20% of your people are actually reading your emails. That's not the value of an open rate. The value of an open rate comes in a delta. So the change in your open rate. If your open rate is 20% and suddenly it goes to 10%, that's a very strong signal you have an issue with deliverability. The same reason if it goes up from 15% and it doubles to 30%, you can bet on it that about double the people are actually seeing your email. So the delta of your open rate is extremely important metric still. So in general, people who say that open rate doesn't matter don't know what they're talking about in my opinion.
But you mean it doesn't matter, but the relativity, the amazing, the ratio.
Yeah,
very
exactly.
Interesting. Okay, so very good. But you are solving everything by that. You give very dedicated, support, and you give a lot of attention to the customers, right? So they will not make these mistakes. I guess this is exactly what Mailvio is about. Beside the technology, is also the dedicated service that you give, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we built the whole software in that direction, right? Like the whole flow that people go through when emailing, either with campaigns or automations, is amazing. About that. Like we kind of like, we don't force you to do segmentation, but everything is built. You get pushed in that way, basically. And then we also strongly recommend people to do the segmentation. The general segmentation buckets that we recommend, and that's just a generalization it depends very much on different business models, but the general where we start the analysis for each company is 0 to 60 days is your normal segment. That's the segment you always email. You can email them every day or even multiple times a day. Some people do that. If you want to get a little bit more aggressive, that's totally fine. Then 60 day until 120 days last engaged people, those people go into a special reactivation automation. Every customer of ours, they get that for free. It has 4 emails, and they are special emails with a bunch of tricks built in. People still have to edit those emails to make sure they make sense for their own business, etc., and their own tone of voice, etc., etc. But all they have to do is change those emails up by the instruction they have inside, and then just start that automation. And on average, that automation saves about 50 to 60% of the people that are basically became inactive, and they go back into the active segments. And then anything above 120 days, we consider those dead leads. So, there's still some gurus say 180 days, you can still email. That's not my recommendation. For me, it's 120 days absolute max. But it depends. Like, for example, we have a customer, they are in the travel niche. In traveling, happens, a lot of families only travel once a year. So then the 180 days still kind of makes sense, right? So there is some playroom there, of course.
Amazing. I think I want to have another webinar with you going deeper into the things you are sharing, and only for affiliates. I think Nicole can hear us, so we will make another one, I think, in a couple of weeks about, deeper things, because you have so much knowledge. We recently partnered, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy with what we're building together, and all the knowledge you have is crazy. I really want another webinar. We're about to run out of time, but I want to jump for this question, which I really like to ask entrepreneurs, founders, people with vision. Give me one thing that you believe that is really, really important to be successful, to build a company in 2026. Something maybe not related to the business, something maybe in your personal life, maybe because you shared with me before the webinar, you have kids, and maybe this is what made you successful. I don't know. Tell me something, one thing that I and others can learn, and what is important to keep running a company in 2026, which is a crazy period of time and with what is happening. So give me one thing that I can go with.
So I think everybody is super attracted to AI, and they should. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. I use it a lot. But I also think that right now, the most powerful USP is basically not forgetting about the human touch. Yes, you can use AI to automate everything, but it should still be that human touch. To be completely honest here, I'm not a sales guy. I don't really sell Mailvio all that well a lot of the time. I don't think Mailvio as a software has any value. And that's, of course, quite a big statement. I think that goes for any kind of specifically software entrepreneurs. The value of software itself is accelerating to zero. And that's where I see it go. With the power of AI programming, it's just I would have never expected it to go this fast. But a programmer, the role of a programmer barely exists anymore. They're just basically technical managers now, managing the different AI agents that do all the coding. And there's people that say oh yeah, but the coding is not that good. It's bullshit. I mean, Cloud Code, which is an app that is being used by millions of people, is 100% created by AI. It's just the way how you instruct AI to make sure the quality is good. And I think for a lot of companies like ours and like Warmy as well, I think the true value comes from the service you put with it. It's software with a service, not software as a service anymore. And I think that's where real value will come from. Productized type of service, you can still scale that as well with AI. A lot of things that we do, a lot of support issues that come up, we have AIs that help us with that. But in the end of the day, it is still that human kind of service extra. The human touch, like I mentioned, is what really gives us an edge against, the MailerLites, the MailChimps, etc.
You invented the new abbreviation. It's not SAS, it's SWAS.
Yeah, it's not my invention. It existed already, but
I didn't know. So I learned from you. Amazing.
Awesome.
Okay. So I think I want to talk to you a bit more. We will have another one. We will go deeper into the numbers. I think your head is full of numbers and statistics. But Steven, it was really, really, I learned a lot. about you. I learned about Mailvio, and I learned about what you believe in, which is very crazy. And I want to make the next webinar a bit longer with some numbers, because I think you have so much knowledge in your head, and I need everyone to be aware of it.
All
Okay?
right. Awesome,
So,
man. Thank you
Steven,
so much.
thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. Thank you very much for being here. And I'm looking forward to the next one, which will be very soon for sure. You are doing amazing. Amazing. You
Awesome.
shared
Thank you so much for
and
your
I learned a
time.
lot. Thank you, Steven.
Thank you for having me. Cheers, buddy.
Bye-bye.